Hello and welcome. As a result of excessive government funding for DEI PSYOPs, Victoria's libraries enthusiastically promote drag queen storytime events as part of efforts to promote subversive DEI and gender identity enticement. However, these offensively explicit shows face increasing opposition from different community segments. Several libraries routinely host luridly disturbing drag queen storytime sessions for vulnerable and critically susceptible children. It's noteworthy we never see these revoltingly ugly scenes promoted for seniors. Such events typically feature demonic-looking drag performers reading stories to children while dressed in garishly lewd and often demonic costumes. Misguided supporters view them as a fun way to encourage diverse expression and identity, while more rational observers decry them as covert grooming. The State Library Victoria has insensitively incorporated drag queen storytimes into its mid-summer festival programming, with visually repugnant performers reading to children of all ages. Other councils and regional libraries are also lavishly government-funded to organise similarly spiritually debased events, much to the disgust of concerned parents. However, these overly sexualised incidents face morally outraged community resistance. Several drag storytime sessions have been cancelled due to heightening concerns and intensifying objections. For example, a Rainbow Mafia storytime event at Goulburn Valley Libraries was called off after a widespread and noisy protest. Critics rightly argue these overly explicit shows are unacceptable and inappropriate for impressionable young children. Cancellations prompted groups to organise pop-up events supported by the LGBTQIA community. The captured Victorian government has treasonously supported unpopular drag storytime initiatives. Suspect politicians outrageously hosted shows at Parliament House. However, this stunt drew severe criticism from opponents challenging the impropriety of highly questionable and sexually oriented entertainment in government buildings. The unsolicited and unwanted introduction of drag queen storytimes ignited a fierce debate about age-inappropriate content, parental rights, and the unsuitable role of public institutions in addressing gender and sexuality topics. While the government promotes this perversity as harmless fun, others condemn it as grooming via a demonic attempt to coax children to accept gender identity ideology. As the controversy continues, libraries and councils promote seditious wokeism over deepening community concerns. Few people know of the massive government funding that's promulgating these subversive displays of sexual abnormality. This readily available money is quickly absorbed by councils who are contemptuous of community opposition and heightening concerns. For the moment, the corrupt and irredeemably perverted establishment ignores public opinion, dictating drag queen storytimes will forever blot Victoria's literary landscape. When official events were cancelled due to parental concerns regarding decency, the Rainbow Mafia organised pop-up storytimes in solidarity with the LGBTQIA+ community. This sparked strengthening opposition from many segments of the community. Protesters have disrupted council meetings, demanding cancellations of perverse drag storytime events that are manifestly inappropriate for children and contribute to the undesirable sexualization of minors. Parents repeatedly express emphatic concerns about exposing children to visually repulsive drag performances, arguing that drag is adult entertainment and inappropriate for young audiences. These parents have demanded meetings with councils and libraries to voice strenuous objections. Other parents who've drunk the DEI Kool-Aid view the events positively, robotically repeating the woke mantra of celebrating diversity. These blinkered buffoons continue exposing children to this evil in reckless disregard for satanic messaging and potentially dangerous grooming. The heated debate has led to safety concerns, resulting in several event cancellations across Victoria. For example, a Rainbow Mafia Storytime event at Goulburn Valley Libraries was called off after protests doggedly insisted upon cancellation. Wangaratta delayed its Rainbow Ball due to intense and ongoing community objections. And Eltham Library Drag Storytime had to move online due to escalating complaints. The controversy has sparked broader discussions about age-inappropriate content for children and parental rights in determining exposure to adult topics. Many also question the role of public institutions in addressing gender and sexuality for minors. While brainwashed supporters argue these events supposedly promote acceptance and reading, critics maintain they push inappropriate and undesirable ideologies onto children. Some councils cancel or postpone drag queen storytime shows due to unidentified and grossly exaggerated safety concerns. Several councils across Victoria quietly cancelled drag queen storytime and LGBTQ events after heated challenges from opposition groups. More Rainbow Mafia Storytime events were cancelled thanks to well-attended protests and ongoing objections. Borundana Council also cancelled a Rainbow Mafia Storytime event featuring the drag performer Frock Hudson. Other councils have chosen to proceed with shows that are dictatorially against the express opposition of the community majority. Some libraries theatrically involve Victoria Police to promote the illusion of security threats. The Yarra Plenty Regional Library, responsible for Eltham Library, faced strong objections and again sought theatrical interventions from Victoria Police. Some authorities move events to different locations or formats to ostensibly mitigate imagined risks. Nillumbik Mayor Ben Ramcharan expressed determination to uphold a fiercely resisted storytime at Eltham Library, considering moving it online due to supposed security concerns. Some events transitioned to virtual platforms to ensure their vile content was aired regardless of public dissent. Various local authorities demonstrate their utter disdain for concerned parents by supporting these disgusting displays of sexual abnormality. Monash Council hosted a drag queen storytime event for children, despite facing ferocious backlash. The Salisbury Council belligerently defended their one-off Rainbow Mafia Storytime event as a woke effort to promote diversity and gender identity, despite receiving over 100 complaints. Some councils disingenuously attempt to address concerns through weasel-worded dialogue and deceptive language. They hold conciliatory meetings with concerned parents to manipulate opinions and change minds. Increased community backlash on council-backed events is beginning to force councils to belatedly acknowledge public disapproval. Responses from local authorities vary, reflecting the contentious nature of the issue. While some begrudgingly yield to common sense and parental concerns, others still seek ways to continue promoting satanic DEI and gender identity brainwashing through these morally offensive exhibitions. Many councils continue supporting these deeply unpopular events because they find such extravagant government funding irresistible. They focus on deliberate, strategic and consistent propaganda placating community concern. Best practice councils integrate communication at their activities' core, cunningly camouflaging unpopular decisions and unwanted projects. Authorities utilise various communication channels to convince a wider audience. When communicating these events, councils develop manipulative messages with a consistent focus on promoting the satanic DEI and gender identity psyop. Some councils hold meetings with concerned parents to whitewash these vile shows, triggering calls for increased community feedback on publicly resisted council-backed events. Councils claim to be forthright and transparent about potential risks and concerns relevant to their community, while blithely ignoring the adverse emotional, psychological, and intellectual impacts upon impressionable children. They continue to supply curated information on the status of these objectionable events. While not specific to Rainbow Mafia shows, local governments conjure general crisis communication strategies designed to mislead communities. They posit that providing an inbound contact option for community members to share updates or fears will ease parental concerns. This arrogant attitude ignores the salient fact that decent people find these transparent psyops thoroughly repugnant. There's no acknowledgement of community demands regarding curtailing behaviour that's egregiously inappropriate for children. While these communication strategies concerning drag queen exhibitions are not explicitly mentioned, councils falsely claim to represent best practices when addressing controversial or sensitive community issues. Well, nothing could be further from the truth, as the suspect characters inveigling this government-funded and unforgivably government-sponsored grooming of children should never, under any circumstances, be allowed anywhere near them. Thank you.